Welcome to Show and Tell. My name's Claudie, and this is, for lack of a better term, a podcast about knitting and crochet and crafting and all kinds of good stuff. I believe today I only have knitting and spinning to talk about, but it varies from episode to episode. It feels really weird, like having it more formal. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that yet. But anywho, welcome and thank you for watching. Let's see. I have a lot to talk about, so we'll just go ahead and get right in. If you notice, the walls behind me, if this is not your first episode, the walls behind me are bare. They are not usually. So, well, that shelf is on there. I did put that back up. But everything else is off the walls, with the exception of, there were certain things that I didn't want to have to, locate the nail holes or whatever again. So I saw something on Pinterest at one point, and I took toothpicks and poked it in there, but it sort of looks like like I'm trying to fend off people or something when we were painting while the walls were bare. It's basically was interesting because we almost got splinters all the time, but it's fine. Whatever. But I'll talk about that in more depth later at the end because I've got a lot to talk about and I want to show you stuff and everything. But I'll be talking about what I worked on, what I finished, what I bought. There's going to be a giveaway, so the information will be later, so please stay tuned. And what else? A little bit about what I've been reading and watching. So, as for finished items, I have 2 finished items, only one of which I can show you. The first one, I'm almost positive was not finished last time. Let me check. No, it was finished last time. Never mind. I had not blocked it. But it has been sent off to its intermediary at the moment. Basically, I'm making a blanket square. Or I made a blanket square, and then someone's going to assemble it and send it to someone. And if you go to my Ravelry project page, you can see the square there. And yeah, it's really cute. I don't think the person who I made it for is in any way watching this, but you never know. Or maybe someone that knows her better than I do might watch. So I'm just going to keep it hush hush for now, but it's fine. Go look at it. It's really, really cute, and once it's been received, I will include a picture or something or talk about it at that point, but this will be the last time I talk about it until then. The other thing that I finished was a hat, and I cast it on because I was literally like, I have nothing finished, and I haven't really made a lot of progress on anything. I need to finish something, so I cast on a hat. This is a knit hat. I just did my standard hat pattern, except that I made this one extra slouchy. And I've not washed it yet, so it's acrylic yarn, and the acrylic yarn hasn't quite settled down or got its drape, what drape it has in it. And so I took a picture of my husband with it on, and he looked like he had a cone head. It was... I'll put a picture of that on the on the project page when I make it. I haven't done that right now, but it should be there by the time this video goes live. He asked that I not post it on Instagram or Facebook or anything, but I was like, well, I'm gonna, if you don't care, I'll put it on the project page. And he was like, okay, that's fine. His weird rules. But anyway, so this is, the yarn is, I love this yarn in the team colorway. I can't remember what they call it, but it's just orange and black stripes. I had this yarn in my stash for, I don't know, a really long time, so I decided to go ahead and do it. Plus, go Bengals. And it's Halloween, so it's a win-win hat all around. Yeah. So I cast on 100 stitches, well 101 actually, because I knit the first one and the last one that I cast on, I knit those together for the first round. It makes the edge seam more even. So anyway, so I cast on 101 stitches, so 100 stitches going on, and I did ribbing for 2 inches, 2 by 2 ribbing. I knit for, I believe it was 8 or 8.5 inches, and then I decreased 4. I did 4 decreases around to get to 96, and then I did 6 sections for the decrease. So what is it, every 16? So each section was 16, so I would like knit 14, knit 2 together, and do the same thing all the way around, and then, you know, do the usual decreases. There was a break in the yarn, and see, you can see that really thin line of orange right here. There was a break in the yarn, and it didn't start, well, there was a knot in the yarn actually, it didn't break, but when they knotted it back together, they didn't do it in the same sequence, so it kind of got off, but I was, whatever. I think I'm gonna buy a styrofoam head, because Matilda, that's what I've called her, she's kind of heavy for me to be holding up like this. So anyway, just a simple hat. I used size 7 for the ribbing, size 7 needles, which are, what's that, 4.5 millimeter, 4.5 millimeter, and 8s for the body, which I believe is a 5 millimeter. If I'm wrong, I apologize. And that's all I have finished. That's done. But I'm really happy with it. The hat looks, it'll look better when it's washed. I don't know. My head, I don't know. I don't think I can pull off hats that well. Like, it's just not my thing. It's just not. I try. I'll wear them. I don't really care if they look that great on me or not, if I'm just trying to keep warm. But, you know. Well, this is finished, but, well, kind of. I'm wearing, oops, sorry. I'm wearing, it's the chevron lace cardigan, which I finished way, way ago. And I just decided to wear it. The weather's been lovely and makes me happy. I probably should set this over here. So I worked a little bit on my spinning. I am using, the fiber is, I'm pretty sure it's either merino or superwash merino, and it's from Turtle Made that I bought at a wool gathering, not this year but the year before, and the Turkish spindle is also from Turtle Made. So there you go. I've done a little bit of progress since the last time I showed it to you, but not a lot. Maybe 20 or 30 minutes worth. It's not been very much. When we painted, I ended up hurting my shoulders pretty bad, so yeah. And also I just didn't feel like it for them. So yeah. Keeping it in my Kicks and Giggles bag, and it's the Harry Potter, Wizarding World of Harry Potter spell bag. Like, it lists all of the spells. I just really, oh no, I was going to say, it looks like she lined up the letters on the side, but she didn't. Just makes my mind. Yeah. Okay. I'm a little out of it today. Sorry. I worked on my socks just a little bit. Well, I mean, a little bit more than a little bit, but I haven't finished them. I believe the last time I showed them to you, I had turned the heel. And I've done, I don't know how many ever, I think it's like, I don't know how many inches that is. But I've done quite a few inches of 1, 2, 3, 7 stripes since I've showed it to you, I think. This is Knit Picks Felici in the Highland colorway, and the needles are 1.25 millimeters, also Knit Picks. And these are for my mom. I'm probably gonna get them done by Christmas. I have no delusions that I'm gonna get them done before then, but we'll see. we'll see. These have been in my purse, so I've not worked on them much except like when we went to visit my dad, and he lives about, takes about a little over a half hour to get there. He technically lives like north of Cincinnati. We live on the Kentucky side. Like we're in northern Kentucky, but like we're not like right at the river or whatever. And then he lives north of Kentucky in like the county, so Warren County or something like that. He lives up there, so near Kings Island. There you go. And so it took about like half hour or so to get there. There's construction and traffic, but so I worked on them a little bit then, and just a couple of places when we were riding around, and, you know, nothing too serious. But hopefully I'll have this one, at least one of them, done by the next episode. We'll see. We'll see. It's in my Fat Squirrel Fibers bag. My sheepies. Love my sheepies. And then I've got my shawl. This is Asunder, and I cannot remember who it's by. Did I make it a note last time? I did not. It is by Lisa Much. There we go. I need like 2 screens so that I can see everything. The last time I showed this to you, I believe it was just a baby. It was just a baby. And now it is, I don't know, like a toddler or something. But, okay, oh, it's like all jumbled up in there. I've got a lifeline in, so I can't straighten it out. It actually is longer than the needles at this point, but there you go. You can see I started the second color, and if you look at the pictures, you can see like it's a yarn over section, and I started it, and sorry, it was a gamble. I knew with the yarn. The main color is, or the first color is Lammy Toes. I bought it from Lammy Toes shop. It is her Moon Pie Merino base, which is, I believe, 75/25 superwash merino and nylon, and I'll put links and stuff in the show notes. But the colorway is Bad Egg, and I think last time I could not remember the color, but it's Bad Egg, and it's very speckly, and it makes me happy. Really, I'm just like, oh, that's what I did last time. I was making a mask out of it. It's very nice. It's very, very nice to work with. I'm sorry about the needles. And the other color is Knit Picks Hawthorne in Blackbird. It's a kettle dyed color. Different component, and technically this is a light fingering weight and this is a regular fingering weight. And I decided to test it out and see what I thought. I like the way it looks, but the texture is different, and I'm not 100%, because I did not, of course, do a swatch. I'm not sure how they're going to match up when it's done, and it is noticeably, like, there is a row of garter, and it is noticeably thicker than the previous row, because of course the yarn is thicker, but I don't know. So before I changed the colors, I put a lifeline in because I was not sure about it, so I was like, well, I'll just test it out. I'll do the first repeat, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And while I do love the color, I was not sold, so I ended up buying another thing of yarn, which I'll show you in a second. But I've got to rip this out, and it makes me a little sad. I will say this about the Knit Picks Hawthorne yarn. I do think that I bought enough, I showed you before, but I bought enough to make a sweater, and I think it's going to be really, a really nice sweater once it's done. This yarn is, I wouldn't say it's rough. It's just not, sorry, I'm trying to like work on my posture and not slump forward. But it's not merino. It's not merino. So yeah, and also this color bled on my fingers. It's black, so I kind of thought it might, but it definitely did. And while it washed off, it, you know, something to take note of. I don't know if all of the colorways do that. I think some ones that the blues do, the ones that have blues in them will do that. So yeah, but I'll use it for something else. I don't necessarily care if it bleeds on my fingers a little bit. If it's an extra dye or whatever, I don't care. But and I would use a color catcher anyway with it when I go to block it, but I don't know. I don't know. I really do like the color though. I don't know if I can show it to you. It just looks kind of like black on there, but it's black with some grays. And let's see if I can show you. That's the skein. So you can see it's, you know, it's tonal. So yeah. So I wasn't sure. So once I had done that section, I was like, okay, this is not going to work. What am I going to do? And I think last time I mentioned that I would just buy another yarn with the same base, and that's what I did. So I bought a skein of the color Stepping Stones, and it's the Cyborgs Craft Room. It's her Asaka Late base, which is 75/25 superwash merino nylon, and 100 yards, 100 grams, 463 yards. And it's very, very pretty. And I thought it would work. I'm trying to get it to where, there you go. That's better. It's basically some blues, browns, gray, and you know, in sort of various shades thereof. It's a very, very, very pretty, and it's very soft. It's the same, I'm pretty sure, it's the same base as the Lammy Toes. So the makeup and stuff the same. So if it's not, it looks, I mean, it's a light fingering weight as well. So, and that's what I thought would work. So I'm going to give this a try, and I held it up with it, and I do think it's going to work. The only color I thought might clash with it is the brown. But I don't think it is. The brown and the pink go, you know, they sort of coordinate with each other a little bit, so I think it'll be okay. And if it's not, then I guess I'll just rip that out too. Just gonna go crazy and rip everything out. Now, while I bought this skein, she was having a sale. I believe it was her birthday or her, no, I think the shop anniversary. And so she had 15% off. So I bought another skein I had my eye on. Same base and everything. This one's called Stellar. And it looks like that. Isn't it gorgeous? It has pretty much every color in it. And I love it. I think this might be, I don't know if it's going to be something around my neck, or I was kind of thinking like fingerless gloves so that I could look at it all the time. But I don't know yet. I have to find the exact perfect pattern, but I knew I wanted it. So I had to have it. I feel like I do this when I have two skeins. I'm like, hi. I'm just gonna like do whatever. Is that weird? That's weird, right? Okay, so I bought one other thing. I bought a sock ruler. And this is a ruler for your socks. Basically, let me grab out my sock. Okay, so this works if you're doing toe-up socks or cuff-down socks. So, sorry if you hear noise. I've got the windows open, and the Roman shades sometimes will bump. Okay, so there you can see I have about 8 inches of the sock from the edge of the heel. My mother wears size 10 shoes, so I'll be knitting for a while. But it's really cool, and I got it because while I can try socks on my own feet, it's hard to do when your mother lives, 2 hours away. I guess I could send them back and forth, but that seems crazy. So I bought that because I thought it would be easier to measure, and it definitely is because you don't have to use like a tape measure that's loose, and yeah. It's made from a plastic. I don't know what kind of plastic, but it's made from plastic, and it's bendy, but not too bendy. I don't want to bend it too much, but it's got a little flex to it, and it's nice. I ordered this off Etsy. I cannot remember the name. Friends in Fiber, I believe. Something like that. But it's nice. They have other varieties too. They have one, I think, for like kids socks now. So, and I believe they're coming out with a different version as well. So, yeah. Giveaway time! Now let's talk about the giveaway. You and I, are going to have a giveaway. I'm going to be giving something away. You may possibly be receiving something if you are the lucky winner. Basically, what I'm going to do is give a $25 gift card to one person, and whoever name I draw or number or whatever, however I put it in the spreadsheet, and I'm going to be giving a $25 gift card to either Webs, which is yarn.com, or Knitpicks, which is knitpicks.com. I checked, and they both ship internationally, so that's good. So I wanted to have it open to everyone. You will want to check, your local, you need to check yourself just to make sure that it is available to you. Some countries, I think, have trade embargoes or whatever, so they don't allow packages in from certain parts, whatever. So just check and make sure that it's, that if you win this, you'll actually be able to use it. Now what do you need to do to win? Cannot talk. But you don't have to talk, because all you have to do is leave me a comment on this video telling me what's your favorite part about the season changing. You can do that, right? For instance, it recently became autumn here, or fall, and my favorite part is the fact that I have been able to have the windows open, leave the air conditioning off most of the time, most days, and it's just been so lovely. I have a two-parter, but the other part is that the leaves are some of them have already started to fall down, and they're really nice and crunchy. So when you walk on them, it makes that nice noise. But those are my two favorite things. Usually tell me one entry per person. If they're duplicates, no bueno. And so only one. You need to be 18. If you are not 18, you need to have your parent enter for you. And be a subscriber of my channel. And that's pretty much it, I think. I am going to let it run until right before I record, which is going to be on the 26th. So let's say midnight the morning of the 26th. So between Sunday and Monday. Yeah. So there you go. That will be it. And I will just, before I record, I'll put everybody's name in a spreadsheet, and then we'll do random.org, and I'll figure out who the winner is. All I'll have to do is I'll have to have your name and email and all of that, because I'll be able to email those gift cards to you, and you'll need to tell me which one you want. But once the person wins, you can contact me and let me know which one it is you want. So I'm really excited about it. I hope that you are too. I think it'll be fun. And yeah. And also, I'm just really happy that it's not summer. I mean, I know. I'm so pale, and the sun and I are not friends. We're just not. We've never got along. I've had too many sunburns and blisters and whatever. I like it when it's overcast and when it's like, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Sorry, a little dry. Yeah. So that's it for the giveaway. Let's talk about what I've been doing. We've been painting. You can see, I don't know if you can tell, I looked at my old, like the thumbnail for my last video, and it looked different. Like the colors don't look the same, but then I'm like, well, maybe I'm just, because I'm in it, I can see it different. But we painted my office and the master bedroom. We just went like a shade down, up, lighter. Just a little bit different one. This one we sort of changed the tone of it a little bit. It's less baby blue and it's got slightly more gray in it. I'm looking behind the camera where the wall is. And I don't know, I like it. It looks less like a nursery color. If that's kind of easier to imagine. The other color, it was a sky blue, but it looked kind of baby blue, and that wasn't really the color that I was going for, but we painted it and I left it. But we're thinking about selling our house and getting a new house next year, not anytime right now, but next year. And so we decided that we needed to go ahead and start fixing up some of the stuff that we had put off, and that was one of them. Like we really needed to paint. We didn't do a very good job painting the first time. That was the first time I'd ever painted a wall. I've painted other things like pictures and stuff, but never a wall. And so it was interesting, but we managed, and it worked out. So this time we painted it. It was much nicer, much more even. You can't see stuff. Plus, we also had to paint the ceilings in both rooms. And that's the reason that if you saw my post on Instagram, I was talking about I couldn't knit or crochet or anything. I was so sore. So sore. My shoulders from the brush and stuff, and I tried to like hold it the way they tell you to, and I guess it's just because we were doing 2 rooms, and I don't know, but my shoulders were so sore, so that was not fun, but I really love the results, so it was worth it. I don't think we'll do 2 rooms in one day again, but yeah. And the reason we had to paint the ceilings it's because, was it last year? About a year and a half ago, I guess. Sometime. It's been over a year. We had the heating and air conditioning system completely replaced in our house. And we had the vents, like the ductwork is all new, and the vents had been moved because the way they were in there before was leaving really distinct cold and hot spots in the house, and it was not working. And so when we knew we needed a new compressor, like a heat pump or whatever outside. So we got bids on having the entire thing redone as well. So that's what we ended up doing. It's made such a huge difference. I recommend it if you live in my house to do that, or you live in a house like mine. It definitely made a difference. But it also left big holes in our ceiling, which were patched but not painted. So while we have a texture on our ceiling too. It's they use like a brush, and it sort of makes a flower pattern. It's an abstract flower. It's not actually a flower. It's just how the bristles kind of split, and it leaves. It's just what it does. But to me, they look sort of like flowers. But that's what happened, and I'm looking over there. Because it's over, the patch is over there, and I mean, it's good and covered. Some rooms look better than others, but it looks better than a big hole in the ceiling, and also it looks better than having, like, what is it, joint compound or whatever, being the color just in one section. So we did that. There's a few places we do need to touch up, but that's okay. We'll do that later. It's not bad. Not bad at all. It's just like a little bit of paint got here or there, and I figure when I go and touch up some of the trim work, I'll just do that at the same time. If I gotta bring the ladder out, I'm just gonna do everything at once. What else did we do? Well, my husband was off work last week, and so that's why we did this. It took about 2 days, one day to actually paint, but then the day before we had prepped everything. We'd taken everything out of the 2 rooms, and we moved into the living room. So our bed was in the living room for a while, for a couple of days, because the paint we got was not no VOC, it's low VOC, but it still had a little bit of a smell to it, and I didn't want to sleep in there with that smell. And also, we had moved the dresser and the nightstands and stuff into the middle of the room. We were trying to do as much as possible so we could just get up and start working, and that's what we did. But, I don't know. The problem is, I think, because we did it in the middle of the week, so we did it on Tuesday, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday, and, you know, so it sort of, I don't know, it sort of felt a little weird. So even though he had a whole week off, we didn't really go anywhere, but that's okay. He, you know, was in Florida last month, or no, in August, and he just kind of wanted to sit around and, like, play on the computer and just do whatever. We did get stuff done around the house besides the painting. We had to finish up a little bit of stuff outside, and yeah, there's more to do, lots more to do. I believe the term is deferred maintenance. Like, we need to recalk the windows and, you know, just stuff like that, you know, if we're going to sell the house, we should probably do. Also, we should probably do it anyway. So it's not like anything bad or major. It's just more making it prettier. So, yeah. I, of course, took everything off the walls, and I'll be putting it back, or I don't know, it's not going to be in the same configuration that it was, because I have more stuff to put on the walls that I have not, you know, I just hadn't got around to doing before. So I'm going to move stuff around. I don't know, on this wall next to me, which you cannot see, but I used to have a big picture of Cincinnati skyline. It was a pencil or a pen drawing by a local artist that I can't remember his name now, but it was really big, and it hung over there, but it was from like the 70s or something, and but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put it back over there. I might put something different there. I don't know. Once I get that done, I'll probably do a room tour, but that's going to be a while because I don't know what I want to do on all of the walls yet. We'll see. So basically, we're just looking at some blank walls. Blank walls. I might call the video blank walls. Yeah. Beyond working on the hat and the house, I have been reading and watching things. I finished a book yesterday called The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. It's a young adult book. I don't exclusively read young adult books, but I do enjoy them sometimes. And this one was really good. I had never read anything by her before, but it was on my, like, wish list, or not wish list, but like my want to read list, to be read list, and I just went ahead and started reading it, and it was really, it was good. It was a good book. I was surprised how good it was. Like, the ending, the way it kind of wrapped up, and maybe it's just because I had read it kind of almost straight through, except enough time to sleep, so maybe it was just me, but it sort of felt a little and happily ever after. But yeah, basically it's about this girl, and she lives in a town where there are, I guess, fairies. Not like Tinkerbell fairies, but like, you know, mythical creature fairies. And yeah, I'm not explaining it very well. I don't want to give too much away either, so I will say this. If you like fantasy, not high, like, what is it, like, high fantasy, not where there's like dragons and whatever, not like that fantasy, but like fantastical worlds where there can be fairies and that kind of thing, you should check it out. It was good. It was very well written, and I tend to be kind of picky about that kind of stuff, so yeah. I've been watching, well, I've not have been watching, I finished watching American Horror Story Freak Show. It just came on Netflix within the past week, I guess, and yeah, we're done watching it. It was good. Not as good as previous seasons, but not like bad or anything. I think it was just more the subject matter is not as interesting to me, but like that's of course just personal preference. So you might be into that kind of thing more than I am, and that's fine. But I mean, it's still worth watching. It's very good, of course. I want to watch the next season, but we don't have cable, so I'll have to wait until it's on Netflix next year. A whole year. A whole year to wait. I don't know if I can do it. I mean, I can. I will. I'll be fine. I've got so much other stuff to watch. We started watching Dark Matter, which is show, like a space on a ship show. It's on Netflix as well. And I think there's only one season on there too, so I don't know. I've been watching Parks and Rec and rewatching Parks and Rec rather, and they don't have the last season on there. And I got to like the end, and I was like, huh. And then it says like season 1, episode 1 as your next episode, and I'm like, no, no. What happened? So I went and I looked, and I just don't have it on there. That's okay though. I mean, I did go, that's rude. Like, like I'm on an episode of like Full House or something, but it's fine. Alrighty, that's all I have for you today, and yeah, I will see you next time. Again, I believe it'll be the 26th that I'll record, and yeah, again, giveaway information. Please enter if you want to. I mean, you don't have to, but I think it'll be nice, and I mean, it's a prize I would want to win. So there'll be more details and stuff, or not more details, but the written details I'll put down in the description bar. Instead of like linking you over somewhere, I'll actually write those out. So yeah. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.